Clive Squirt's news report, 24/7, all the time, live on BSTV. Never forget, watch it. Hi, I'm Clive Squirt. This is Bristol Student Television, and you're watching The News. Following the turmoil of the cost of living crisis, many financially troubled families have had to resort to dire measures to ensure that they have enough money to afford the increasing bills for the winter. So how has this happened? To speak more on this, our financial correspondent, Barry Dollops.
There's a stench in the air. Is it that mouldy apple or this bird that recently defecated whilst we halted filming? Following this statistic on this graph, it is apparent that people have just run out of money to spend on stuff. After a video was leaked onto the internet of the Chancellor getting slapped by a dominatrix with bundles of real £50 notes, Conservative MP Charles McChaddington III, OBE, MBE, GCSE, LOL, BTEC had this to say about that video. MP, do you have a word to the press? You cannot outrun the word of the law.
It is clear that the Chancellor was asking the distinguished woman to put the money back into his briefcase. But as the lady was Romanian, she could not understand English.
We spoke to the dominatrix, and she said she lived in Bognor Regis for 15 years and can speak perfect English.
Like I said, the lady was Romanian and therefore unable to speak English.
These are the glasses of a woman too poor to even maintain them anymore. The government's current mismanagement of the financial situation is resulting in something that many are calling their financial arse-cheek slapping. In order to find out how families are dealing with this current problem, we've come to Bristol to ask the public what they're doing with the current situation and what they think of the Chancellor's current actions. What do you think of the cost of living crisis?
Terrible. That's a really vague question.
What would you do about it?
Pay everyone a bit more.
General thoughts?
General thoughts?
Nothing concrete. Not ideal.
Of course not.
Could be better.
Yeah.
Interview? Quick interview?
Yes. Very expensive. A bit too expensive for most students, etc.
Nope. Economic crisis?
You want me to stand?
No, it's fine. I think it's better like this. It's more level. What do you think of the student union? In a sound, what does the economic crisis sound like?
Boom.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow.
But if you want to increase public spending, then...
BS News once again hitting you firmly in the face with the backhand of truth. How steep?
Like
Graph.
Sorry,
What do you think of the Chancellor's actions?
Oh, I think those have been absolutely terrible.
It's quite vulgar.
I probably shouldn't. I don't know much about the Chancellor's actions.
You shouldn't mention it.
No, I haven't been following it recently.
You're allowed.
I'm allowed.
You're allowed to mention it.
Hate him.
What about what he's done?
Love it.
Who is the Chancellor at the minute?
It's him.
Down there, yeah.
What's his name?
He's called Bill Murphy's, I think.
Who's this fucking Chancellor? Sorry, can I swear?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
They're good. Yeah. They're not as good as mine.
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. They're nice shoes.
Final question.
Yeah.
Would you be seeing the Chancellor covered in chicken seeds?
Well, this is actually sunflower seeds, so chickens have corn more, but yeah, I reckon I can see that happening. Maybe some feathers as well.
Encourage it, even.
Yeah, I would encourage it. Yeah.
Good night. As it turns out, no one can tell me anything of use about the economic situation. And because of that, I've decided to move on from Bristol, which is just as well, because it's a shithole. But how are families dealing with this crisis? Many have turned to the unthinkable. This mother from Croydon has decided to sell 3 of her 4 children. Do you plan on selling your 4th child?
Well, it depends on how cold the winter's going to be, really.
What? Well, we've covered many issues over the course of this special. We've walked up and down the crime-ridden, filthy streets of White Ladies in Bristol. But there's one thing you might not have considered when it comes to the cost of living crisis. Ketamine. Ketamine is a Class a drug and is registered as a dangerous substance. Ketamine can be found almost everywhere, and that's why I'm going to take a few minutes to explain why, when it comes to someone asking you whether you'd like to take ketamine, you should say no. When I was 16 and I took ketamine, I had sex. Afterwards, it felt horrible. Good night.